Hi, my name is Elari Onawa. I've been a life on purpose and lifestyle coach since 2003, and I'm also the author of Just Believe How Faith in Yourself Shifts Everything. Welcome to this week's message, How to Be More Intuitive. So, what is intuition and why does it matter so much? Well, intuition is when you perceive a truth without the need to figure out something. So, with intuition, you just know, whereas reasoning uses associations and assumptions. It's an if this happens, then that will occur, or a weighing the pros and cons way of thinking, which obviously has its limitations. If you've ever felt stuck in analysis paralysis, you know what I mean by limitations there. Your intuition, however, gives you quick, powerful insights and access to higher guidance and information, even when you don't have five sensory input or data in your memory banks to draw from. If you've ever had a sense or a feel for the best decision without knowing why, well, that's your intuition. If you've ever had a hunch or knew something instantly or had an aha experience, that too is your intuition. When you intuit something, you are not using memory, assumptions, or linear assessments. Instead, you're accessing something much more powerful. Ernest Holmes, an early 20th century spiritual teacher, described intuition as God in man or woman, revealing to her the realities of being. That is, of course, if we allow intuition to operate through us. Einstein called intuition a sacred gift and saw the rational mind or the reasoning mind as a faithful servant. Dr. Judith Orloff, an MD and professor of psychiatry at UCLA, says highly developed intuition is a powerful tool. It gives you all kinds of information you wouldn't normally have. For me, I experience intuition as my soul truth. It's guidance from my ever-wise eternal self. Through my intuition, I have access to information that's beyond time, space, and stories. It's higher truth. For eons, intuitive abilities have been attributed to the divine feminine principle. But this isn't because intuition is only for women any more than rational thinking is set aside for the sole use of people in a male body. We all have feminine and masculine energy and skills to varying degrees, regardless of our respective genders. This particular gift of intuition requires higher receptivity. Higher means divine or your broader, wiser perspective. Energetically, feminine actually means being receptive. So the divine feminine is an energetic principle. This means that in order to be intuitive, we must be receptive or tune into higher knowing or higher wisdom. So, how do you do that? How do you broaden your access to divine insights, to higher insights? First, you start by recognizing that we all have access to intuitive insights. Of course, the degree to which it's developed and used will vary, but we all have access. So, intuition is a skill that can be consciously harnessed and developed. The second requirement for becoming more intuitive is to make a clear choice that you will deepen your intuitive gifts. Now, this may sound overly simple, but consider this. Have you ever thought about setting a goal to exercise more, or to save more money, or to meditate more? Maybe you wanted to do it more consistently. Then a few months or years go by and you notice that nothing really changed in that area. Well, this happens more than you may think. I've done this myself, and so has everyone else, and I do mean everyone in a physical body. If you have a habit you've wanted to change or develop and you haven't, maybe you haven't made a clear, committed choice yet. You're still thinking about it. There is a big difference. When you make a clear, committed choice, powerful forces line up to give you what you truly want. So if you want to strengthen your intuitive abilities so you can have broader access to your higher guidance, then be sure to make a clear choice to do so. And finally, the third ingredient is cultivating and owning your intuitive abilities. Seeing yourself as intuitive and cultivating your abilities in the ways that are best suited to you. Obviously, this is a bigger subject than what we can cover in a short video, but you can start strengthening your intuition with these two powerful practices. Here's practice number 1. Stop thinking and step to the right. Here's how this works. If you find yourself analyzing something to death and you want access to your higher guidance, stop thinking. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Let go of the need to think. Next, ask a clear question, such as, what is the best choice for me in this situation? Continue to breathe deeply and bring your focus to the right hemisphere of your brain. Notice how your energy shifts. I used this practice intuitively for years, and I was journaling and writing. And then I started teaching it in my sacred writing and my living on purpose programs and found that it worked well for a lot of people. Almost everyone experiences a significant upgrade in the quality of the information that they receive, and they also find their answers are more insightful and get to the heart of the real underlying need or issue when they do this simple practice. By stepping to the right and breathing and exhaling deeply, you are creating space to hear the divine truth that is within you. Years after I started using this practice, a friend told me about a book called A Stroke of Insight by Jill Bolt Taylor, a Harvard-trained brain scientist. This is when I discovered a few more reasons why this technique works so well. Bringing your focus to the right takes you out of linear thinking. You are essentially tuning into the receptors of the right brain, where no time exists other than the present moment. You are actually slowing down the rational mind and becoming present to something else, while the left brain maintains linear thinking and autonomy, which is needed to be an individual or a self. The energies picked up from the right brain's receptors are directed to your connection with all things. The right side receptors are also free from judgment, so you feel a deep sense of peace when you get this guidance. So you're able to connect, flow, and perceive your higher guidance more easily than you would with your rational mind. You're tuning into an aspect of yourself that is beyond memory, beyond what you've done in the past. Let's look at practice number 2. The second practice is to ask powerful questions and write down the answers. This might seem obvious, but it's so worthy of mentioning. You may not even know that you are receiving guidance if you are not present to the questions that you are asking yourself. Also, a powerful question walks, W-O-C-S. It's well-directed, open-ended, clear, and specific. In other words, the answer will give you the information that you are really looking for. And when you write down the answers that you receive, you also learn how to recognize the energy of your higher guidance. And you begin to develop your ability to get the answers that you seek on demand when you need them. So, developing your intuition gives you access to higher creative intelligence, and it helps you make powerful choices that are aligned with your soul path and your heartfelt dreams and desires. This is why I always include training and practices for developing this connection in all of my coaching programs. Sometimes connecting with higher guidance can be challenging for some people, and this is especially true if you spend a lot of time using the analytical aspects of your mind, or if you find yourself second guessing yourself or the information that you're receiving. If you feel like you want more help with this, I invite you to join me in private coaching. In a few sessions, we'll work together to release what could be slowing you down, and then we'll strengthen your connection to your inner source of wisdom. It's a great opportunity to work one-on-one with me as your personal mentor and coach, and catapult yourself to a higher level of freedom and deeper knowing in just a few short weeks. As always, thanks for tuning into these messages for more of life's magic. I will see you soon.